Hello, beautiful being. Welcome back to my channel. Whether you're new or returning, welcome. My name is Angelica, and if you're here, it's because Source brought you here, because you need to hear whatever is in this reading. You get to use your discernment, your intuition, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and just remember that everything here, it's more than a reading. It's an actual transmission of energy. I am a quantum healer, quantum medicine woman, quantum shaman, and we're always moving energy, okay, to wherever it needs to go for the highest and best good. So let's get into the reading. I am connecting right now with someone who is either in the dark night of the soul, and you know it's the dark night of the soul and you know you're in it, or you've just come out of it. This may have been a long-standing dark night of the soul. Not all dark night of the souls are like, mine was years and years long. So it just kind of depends, but I am connecting to someone who is either coming out of a dark night of the soul or is immersed in the dark night of the soul and knows it. If you don't know that you're in the dark night of the soul, this is probably not for you, okay? Source needs you to know. Now you got to take this as it resonates. So if you're in the middle of this dark night of the soul, you're going to more take it as like, these are the things that are coming up. These are the things to be released. These are the things that you need to, or as a confirmation, are working on. Okay. And if you're coming out of it, this is what's releasing. Okay. So take it as it resonates. All right. My little starseed light worker. So part of what's coming up is your soul is asking for something deeper, more fulfillment, more joy. Your soul knows that you didn't just come here to pay bills and die. You know, something's off with that, right? Your soul wants something deeper. Your soul came here for a reason. It came here to grow. It came here to learn the lessons. It came here. Now, if you're watching this at this time, you have a mission here. Your soul has a very specific, divinely guided, divinely, literally God gave you this purpose for Earth at this time. Okay? Your soul is calling you into something deeper. From this dark night of the soul, oh, where did it go? From this dark night of the soul, your soul is learning. It's remembering, it's waking up, it's saying, oh, something ain't right here. I'm not as happy as I know I could be. I am not as filled as I know within me I could be. I keep repeating the same patterns over and over again, and something's off with this. You know something's off with this. Your soul is calling you into deeper alignment. Your soul is literally saying, hey, we didn't come here for this shit. It is time for something deeper, something aligned with my soul. Something kindred is the word that's literally coming up. Something kindred. It's something, your soul is looking for something that it recognizes as truth. Okay? Now, if you're coming out of the dark night of the soul, this is what you're being catalyzed into. If you're immersed in the dark night of the soul at this time, This is what you're learning. That the soul, it needs to learn. It wants to grow. This is what it's here for. You're learning that there is, I can feel all of the deep internal layers being turned on and sparked up and triggered and activated into remembrance of there's something more here. It's time. So if you're here at this time, okay, your soul, and you're immersed in the dark night of the soul, your soul is being activated. You're being activated into remembrance. Your soul is the one that's saying, hey, it's time. I know you might be scared. I know this might go against the programs and the protocol that you've been taught and or have inherited from somewhere along the lines. But we need more. You need more, okay? That calling cannot be ignored at this time. Okay? It can't. Look, here's the thing. Let me lay it out. You have free will. So absolutely. You can ignore it all you want. You don't have to choose this. But if you're here, you're probably going to choose it because there is no other choice for you to choose other than ascending out of the spells, the programs, the density. Yeah. So I'm not here to tell you what to choose, and I'm not here to tell you you can't choose this or you can't do that. It's your life, my love. I'm here to relay that the mechanics of what's going on right now, if you're here, you need to understand there is no more time to play around and distract yourself. There is no more time to be in fear and play small. There is no more time for that. I'm actually hearing the sound of a buzzer, and I'm being shown, I'm actually being shown like a basketball hoop, and the basketball going into the swish happening as the buzzer sounds. It's a metaphor. You're going to make it. It's just not time to play around and distract yourself, play small, and do all of these things. There's no more time for that. That was pre-2020. We can't do that anymore. Mechanically, if you ignore your purpose, it's really just your soul will eventually be like, you know what? Okay, we're not doing the thing. Your soul has a purpose. It's here to fulfill that purpose. If you're not going to be willing to co-create with your soul and co-create with source and co-create with the universe, your soul will say, okay, it's time to go home. Your God will call your soul home and say, okay, let's try this again. There's nothing to be scared of. It's literally mechanics, okay? It's literally the mechanics of how this time in humanity, this time in the bigger celestial cycles, this is just what happens. We're coming out of the Kali Yuga. We're going towards our central sun, and we're going to enlightenment as a collective. It's either time to align or you need to go. And take that as it resonates. I'm saying it how I'm saying it because someone here needs to understand that this is a very real thing. And I'm hearing that you've been distracting yourself for far too long. And now it's time to honor your soul, to honor those who came before you, and to honor those who come after you, because you're leaving the planet either better or worse than what you came into. So what is your choice? Okay, that's what I'm hearing with this. Along with this, we have soul contracts and lessons. Soul contracts and lessons. Now, if you are coming out of the dark night of the soul, this is confirmation about, okay, they're showing me like, it's almost like this thing of paper being flipped. I'm seeing all of these contracts. All right, done. And it's like this big stack of papers, and it's being flipped through, and it's being set on the desk and being like, and stamped, done, void. It's actually being stamped void. You have completed so many contracts, so many lessons. If you're here, you're watching it, and you've coming out of the dark night of the soul, you've done a lot of work. This has been in preparation for you for the next level, because there are bigger, I'm hearing fish to fry. That's funny. Again, like, remember you guys, I talk in, spirit comes through in metaphor, because I'm really talking to your subconscious. Your subconscious speaks the language of color. It speaks the language of emotion, symbology, right? And feeling. So when spirit comes through with some of these metaphors, that it's like, what is that? It's for you to decode for yourself, okay? Because everybody's going to get something a little different for themselves. So for those who are immersed in the dark night of the soul contracts and lessons, these are going to be challenging for you. These are opportunities. These are actually opportunities for you to reclaim your power, to remember your sovereignty, and like, I'm getting choices, to understand your choices, the consequences to your choices. Now, consequences is really neutral. It can have a negative connotation of like, consequences, that means you're going to get punished. No, it's just merely cause and effect. So what I'm really speaking of here is the law of cause and effect. Spiritual law. And I literally just recorded one today that was talking about spiritual laws. For those of you who are immersed, you're here to also learn about the spiritual laws. Whether it's consciously or unconsciously, I would definitely recommend consciously, because then you can actually work with those consciously. But it really is your choice, and it really depends upon your soul and how you came in here and you deciding how to do things. Okay? I would, like I said, I would encourage you to learn the universal laws, the spiritual laws that cannot be broken. Okay? Oh, interesting. Okay. So, the next one. Okay, we're just going to go this. Betrayal. Forgiveness is not about condoning, it's about releasing yourself from the burden of pain. So this is about betrayal and forgiveness. Okay? Part of what you came here to learn, right, with the lessons that you came here to learn for your soul, you came here to experience betrayal, so that you could remember how to move beyond that, how to forgive, and how to actually open the heart into unconditional love. Again, it's not about condoning what happened. It's about releasing yourself from pain. Otherwise, if you allow that to sit in your field, sit in your body, sit in your mind, in your psyche, it's poison. It's spiritual poison. Okay, I need you to understand how deep this goes, and just like what that means. Okay, but if you're coming out of it, okay, obviously if you're coming out of the dark night of the soul, this is something that's releasing from your system. Betrayal. This is amazing, because that means I can literally feel the density being lifted off of you, and you feeling so light and able to move in ways that you couldn't before, manifest in ways that you couldn't before. When we have these very low emotions, these wounds, they create density in our body. When we're holding on to it in our body, in our psyche, in our field, it limits the bandwidth that we can be on, right? So if you have trauma and wounds that are unprocessed, right? Say, for example, you can only move between this bandwidth rather than it being limitless. Does that make sense? I need this to land. Let that land. The betrayal, because betrayal is a very deep wound that can keep you stuck in, it can start to create resentment, right? Very, very heavy emotions of resentment and bitterness. And then you start to kind of like, the example I'm getting is of like a really crotchety old man that just, there's no happiness, there's no spark, it's all complaining. We all know someone like that, or have seen someone like that, or have seen movies, media of someone like that. That's what happens when maybe we've had that experience and that wounding, and we're not allowing ourselves to release it. It's not always easy or pleasant, because healing never is. It's the complete destruction of everything you think you are. It's not always fun and cute and rainbows and butterflies. It's the tower moment, right? It's everything come crashing down. But through that destruction and the rebuilding, you become stronger, more resilient. You learn how to build integrity within you, honor within you, nobility within you, confidence, self-respect, self-esteem, an open heart, an open voice, an open channel of divine truth, divine love. So take this how it resonates wherever you are in the dark night of the soul. You're either releasing these things out of your system, or this is where you're moving towards. And it's important that you see these things, and it's basically just a confirmation of, hey, these are the things that you need to work on. For some of you out there, I'm hearing these are the things that you need to work on. It's very important that you need to go into those wounds, go towards that shadow space, and bring love into it, bring understanding, bring your intention to bring love and understanding, your consciousness, your your ability to transmute and bring clarity to yourself. Okay? Also, what we're also releasing, the mask of happiness. How many of us wear a mask and pretend that we're happy? Oh, I'm happy, but deep inside, you know you're not happy, you know you're not fulfilled, you know you're not fully joyful the way that you know you could be. And it feels like a distant dream, a distant memory. And it might even remind you of your childhood of like, I used to be so happy as a kid. What happened? Programming happened. Not life, because life does not do that. Not organic life. Organic life supports your growth and your expansion. This is inorganic. I would call it maybe inorganic life or even inorganic death. Either way, it's kind of like a death magic type of energy that's coming in here. Basically like this mask of like, oh, you go to school and you learn all the things, and then you find someone, and then you build a life, and you buy the house, right? Get the mortgage with the kids and the picket fence. Now, there's no judgment, and I'm not really speaking to those who like that have that and that are truly happy. I'm not speaking to that collective. I'm speaking to the collective that actively has a mask on or has taken it off. If you're coming out, again, you got to take it as it resonates, because there's a couple collectives here that I can feel. Okay, so you got to learn how to kind of discern for yourself where you're at in all of this. But the message here is about taking off the fucking mask. It's not 2020 anymore. We're in a new world. If you're not happy, you're never going to get into to create happiness for yourself if you keep being in denial that you're happy. I'm happy. No, you're not. You're in denial. Denial is a hell of a drug. Denial is a hell of a drug. Excuse me. We're moving some powerful stuff right now. Oof. Somebody needed to hear that. Are you hiding sadness behind forced smiles? Authenticity heals deeper than avoidance. This says, here, this is how I'm hearing to say it. And I'm hearing to say it from the point of view of me. I would rather take off the fucking mask, rip off the fucking mask, and have to face all of the shit, and then go into like, all right, let me do the work. I'd rather do that and have it be a whole lot of fucking work, because in that there's growth, there's expansion. I'm learning new skills. I'm realizing who I am. I'd rather do that than to avoid it, because I have literally ran my whole life, ran away from things, avoiding things. So I may be talking to someone that's avoided these things for far too long, a little bit longer than you know was necessary, and that you knew that you should be doing it. There's no judgments here. Source isn't mad. There's nothing. It's just about getting into alignment now. You don't need to be tough on yourself. You don't need to like shit on yourself. It's just about getting into alignment now, using that feedback, using those emotions to propel you forward. Okay? But those masks are coming off, and they're going to come off no matter what. So whether you're actually avoiding it or whether you're leaning into it, they're going to come off anyway, is what I'm hearing. So do yourself a favor and move with it rather than against it. Trust me. I've done the things, and I've held on to things for far too long, that if you hold on to it for far too long, the tsunami comes, the earthquake comes, the tower moment comes. And tower moments can be gentler, but I mean like those big tower moments when everything just kind of falls, the shit hits the fan, and you're just like, whoa, what happened? It's because you held on to things too long. Source is sending me here, I'm hearing right now, to drive home the point, move with it, because it's going to happen anyway rather than against it, because you're going to be doing yourself a huge favor and you're going to thank yourself in the end, because it will have been a lot more seamless, a lot more effortless. And you're also learning and remembering how to move with the flow of life rather than against it. Because part of the big spell that's on humanity is to program you against your own natural flow of feeling and releasing and moving with the universe, moving with God, moving with your passion, moving with your dreams, co-creating with your dreams, with God, with the universe. Not resisting it, okay? Last card out here, and this is a doozy. The fear of love. And there's a lot there. This fear has blinded you. This fear has repressed, suppressed your voice, your authentic voice. And it feels like it has, wow, I'm hearing it has the heart in a chokehold. Again, metaphor. What does that bring up in you? Okay. So again, depending on where you're at in the dark night of the soul, this is something that you're either releasing or that you're going to be brought to in your dark night of the soul to release. Okay. Take it as it resonates. I'm actually going to get a couple more cards here, is what I'm hearing. But these are the shadow points that want to come up. Oh, interesting. Is there, I feel like there's one more card here. Yeah. Oh, there was a couple more cards here. All right. Okay. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. Oh God. Oh my God. Okay. Holy shit. For those of you who are coming out of the dark night of the soul, and this is a completion of a big cycle for you, kindred spirits are coming in. This feels like community, new types of relationships, new types of people. And a kindred spirit, I'm hearing, can also be an animal. It can be something in nature, like it could be a tree. So, and this can also be like you're a spirit guide or an unseen spirit, benevolent, right? But like, what I'm hearing and why I'm saying this is because there's something coming through here about understanding that there are different levels to kindred spirits and to community, right? Some of us walk in the unseen all of the time. And so perhaps some or a lot of your community might be in the unseen realm. But at this time, there are kindred spirits, there are not just kindred spirits, spirit guides. Okay, for those of you who are immersed in the dark night of the soul, this is actually coming through as spirit guides. your spirit team, guardian angels, galactic, I'm hearing galactic councils that are helping humanity at this time, especially in governing certain off-planet missions to destroy Earth. I don't know what that is. This is coming through, so I'm speaking it. Okay, so take that how it resonates. Okay. Now again, these are things that are being released for responsibility. When we keep on running and running from our responsibilities, we never get to ground into and manifest the life of our dreams, because it's going to take responsibility. It's going to take knowing and being able to hold the capacity of the responsibility, or of the level of responsibility that you need for any given level that you're on. If you keep running from that responsibility, you're never going to be able to build your dreams. I'm hearing the deeper, what is that? Deeper lesson? The deeper call here. The deeper call here is to understand your choices and to understand your responsibility to those choices. I'll give you an example that's coming through. Say you want to start a YouTube channel. In order to build a successful YouTube channel with amassed following, you're going to have to do some things. You're going to have to learn how to do some things. You might have to learn a new skill set, maybe several new skill sets. And the responsibility of you have to that audience that you build, that empire that you build, there's something here that needs to click in, of understanding that you need to be a certain version of yourself that can hold the visions, the dreams, the desires, that can hold the capacity of responsibility to those manifestations. A lot of us in this 3D world have been programmed to not take responsibility for our creations, because even the powers that were can't take responsibility for their creations, for what they create. They just, we're creating this fear, this fear, this fear, but they never take responsibility. Look at the E-files. Is anybody speaking up? Is anybody talking about it? Is anybody coming forth from Hollywood? Nope. No accountability, no responsibility. So as a light being, you need to learn. Let me put this a different way. There are certain lessons that need to be integrated so that you can truly hold the capacity that it takes to hold those desires. Because if it's big, you need to be able to step into big. You need to be able to hold big responsibility without the fear of like, oh no, like, am I gonna fuck it up? Oh no, like, I don't, or even like avoiding responsibility because you don't feel like you're worthy. You don't feel like your inner worth is just like, no. Because you see, we got first, second, and third chakras here. We got a lot of red, yellow, and orange. Okay? This is survival stuff. Okay? Also, that which keeps you a slave. Right? I'm hearing power dynamics, imbalanced power dynamics. things that keep you chained, bound to certain realities, timelines, karmic loops that aren't serving your highest good and are actually keeping you from manifesting your desires, your dreams, and stepping into being the one that can hold that responsibility. Okay, these are things that are being released. You got to take it as it resonates, because there's a lot of really heavy things. It's very first, second, and third chakra focused. Okay. I'm actually hearing to read this. Patterns of powerlessness and self-limitation have been ingrained in you through societal conditioning. And I just want to stop here and say, like, that societal conditioning, we don't realize how deep it goes and how deep it's ingrained until we start doing the work. Allow yourself to break free from the mental chains that keep you bound to what others expect or believe. It's time for you to free yourself. There is nobody coming to save you. As if you are coming out of the dark night of the soul, this might have been a painful realization that you had to come to. Like you had to be responsible for freeing yourself. No one is coming to save you. Oh man, I'm hearing to say it. Jesus is not a savior. Yeshua is not a savior. That is part of the conditioning. That's part of the programming. That's part of the lie that they told you. He never came here to save, to be a savior. He came here to show us our innate power and what we can do as human. They created that narrative in order to enslave the masses. Because if you can trick people into believing a lie, a very powerful lie, and you can teach them how to disempower themselves, oh honey, you don't have to do a whole lot of work. This is how they work. Okay? I need you to understand this. This is why I'm saying this. These are, and I'm just sharing a lot of things that I have realized over the years. So may it serve you in the highest and best way. It is time for you to free yourself. And if you are someone who's coming out of it, you have learned that it's time. You had to free yourself. It's on you. And then when you have the medicine, when you've cultivated the medicine, you help others to free themselves. But we're not saving anybody here. Nobody needs to be saved. It's really arrogant to think that anybody needs to be saved. You don't need to be saved. It's all within you. Source is in you. That spark is within you. You just need to connect with it to remember who you are. The dark night of the soul is the whole hero's journey, is what I'm hearing, that helps you move through so many initiations that we have been disconnected from for a very long time. And I'll give you an example. When a young woman or a young girl becomes a woman, when she starts bleeding, a lot of the modern day thought is, ew, that's so gross, that's this, that's that. There's so much resistance to that. Oh, I hate that time of the month and blah. We've been so disconnected from that initiation. That used to be such a sacred thing. We used to be taught about blood and what it holds and what magic we can do with it. But they disconnect us from our magic, our power, and our remembrance and those initiatory awakenings that help us be embodied. When they take that away from us, or when that gets taken away from us, or when we get disconnected from that, we become disconnected from very deep parts of ourselves, deep remembrances that if we are unable to actually resolve that within ourselves, it kind of then we start looking externally, right, outwardly, for validation, and I need this, I from a desperation, and not just a conscious desperation all of the times, unconscious desperation, and that can be very dangerous. That desperation can lead you into places that you wouldn't normally go. Initiations are powerful awakenings to the self. And when we're disconnected from the self and the self awakenings, we're disconnected from our power. Okay? I don't know who needs to hear that, but there's a rant. There you go. The other thing here that we're releasing is negative manifestations, being a magnet to all of the wrong shit. You are a powerful force of creation in the universe. Your negative words and thoughts hold as much power to manifest as your positive ones. Be mindful of where your focus lies, for energy flows where attention goes. What I'm hearing to say here is that those wounds, right, the baggage that we're talking about, like the dark night, all of these things, the betrayal, right, those deep wounds, the resentment that we talked about, when those are unprocessed, they are still a point of attraction. So if you're not processing your deepest wounds, fears, your emotional baggage, whatever it is, trauma, it's still a point of attraction in your field. So you could be trying to manifest your dreams, your dream life, all of the best things, all of the biggest things, but just for whatever reason, you keep attracting, magnetizing, aligning with the things that are just like mind-boggling, like, what? This is not what I wanted. This is not what I asked for, because all of these other wounds are there, and they're still a point of attraction. You have to clear these out so that the energy can flow freely, undistorted, uninfiltrated, without all the static and noise and distortion and smoke and mirrors and confusion that's there and designed to separate you from your truth. So here we are. Take this as it resonates, okay? If you're in the dark night of the soul, these are the things that you're coming out of, and you may still need to process some of this stuff, okay? If you are someone who's immersed in it, this is good news. Because, and I'll tell you why, because this is confirmation that you're on the right fucking path. that you're on the path of the alchemist, you're on the path of the magician, and you're learning very foundational lessons of what it means to be a true fucking magician in this reality, in this life, in this time of humanity's ascension. Because it is not a mistake that you're here. You are here for a reason. You are a superhero. Your powers are just not activated. You just feel like, I'm just a human. No, that's what they want you to think, sweetie. You're a fucking god. You're a goddess. You're not just a queen. You're not just a king. You're royalty. You're God. You're a goddess. And the more that they can disconnect you from that remembrance, the more that they can distort your truth and hide it in plain sight right in front of your eyes. Okay, so take it as it resonates. I'm going to get a closing card, a closing message. Wow. What? Master Buddha is coming out. Increased awareness, deep connection, trust your inner voice. That is all that needs to be said here. 46 on the clock when I said that. This is about the dark night of the soul. Is all about increased awareness. It's about walking the path of a master. If you are here and you're watching this, you are a master. I'm not talking to those who didn't come to be a master or who already are a master. You are an ascended master. Ascending again. Remembering again. Helping Earth as you remember, as you wake up. It's beautiful. It's sacred. And I honor you in that. Because I'm going through it too. I've been through a lot of these things. This is a sacred initiation. Treat it as an initiation. Be devoted to you, to yourself, to your awakening, to your growth. Not because there's something to fix within you, but because that's part of your alignment, is to grow. It's part of your natural blueprint to grow and expand exponentially into new versions of yourself, a new abundance, a new way of expressing. This says to me a path of mastery. This says to me, path of the master, because we got Master Buddha. This is the closing card. There's no more cards coming from that deck. I can feel it. This is the path of mastery. The dark night of the soul. What I'm hearing, the dark night of the soul is the initiation. It's an initiatory path of mastery, getting you onto the path of mastery. Not everybody will walk that path. Not everybody will choose to walk that path. But you are here because you chose it, or you're choosing it. And a couple of you, what I'm hearing is the choice is being presented to you at this time. What do you choose? The choice is yours. There's no wrong choice. There's simply cause and effect. But know that if you do not choose to move into your path of mastery, your soul at this time will be called home. Because if you're not moving towards ascension, moving towards growth, moving towards expansion, you're actually not on the path that your soul intended. You're not walking in the design that you pre-architected before this life for yourself. And there's no shame in that. You'll get it next time. Okay? There's no wrong or right in all of it. It's just what you choose to do with it. Where's the inner fire? Are you choosing it? Are you not choosing it? If you're not choosing it, then why? Where's your inner fire? Where's your inner spark? Okay? I'm hearing to leave that there. Let me know in the comments if this resonated with you. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Love you.